Hey guys, so I know you love just these wonderful videos that I make. Okay, so you should be doing this after your essay. We're going to do simple compound interest next class, so let's just get a couple notes in. So first, let's start off with simple interest. So let's say I went to a bank and I asked for a loan. A loan is where I'm borrowing money. Okay, so they're not just going to give me money and that's it. But if I get a simple interest loan, that means I have to pay back the money with a certain amount of interest. So let's say I borrowed $50 from the bank and I said, okay, but you have to pay it back with a 10% interest. Well, that means I'll be paying $50 plus however long it takes me to pay back the money. I'll have to pay back 10% each year it takes me to pay back the money. So let's say I go to a bank and I borrow $500. And they said there's a simple interest rate of 2.5%. And let's say I don't pay back this loan for 5 years. Okay. So let's first talk about what these things mean in the formula. I represents interest. So that's the amount of interest I'll be paying back. P represents principal. That's the amount I borrowed. Or in another case, if I'm investing my money and it's getting interest, then that's the amount of money I invested. R stands for the rate. But this has to be in decimal form. So we're going to have to change that percent to decimal. And T stands for time in years. Okay, so we're going to plug this all into our formula. So I equals, the principal amount was $500. That's how much I borrowed. The rate, 2.5%. I have to move the decimal 2 places to the left to get it as a decimal instead of percent. So then that's going to be 0.025, and then the time is 5 years. Now I'm using my calculator. Some of you who don't like using the calculator, I would definitely suggest using it for this. And that gives me $62.50. Now that's the amount of interest, but what if I asked you, well, how much in total am I paying back the bank? Well, how much did I borrow in the first place? And how much interest did it occur? So I would do 500, so the principal plus the amount of interest. So I'll be paying back $562.50 in total. So this is total, which you'll learn in the next slide, is A, and this is interest. So you have to know what they're asking for. All right, so that gives us to compound interest, okay? So I'll use the same scenario. I'm going to a bank. I borrow $500 with an interest rate of 2.5%, and I pay back in 5 years. But compound interest doesn't just make you pay back the amount of the rate from your principal. It's the principal amount plus the interest you incur every year. So, for example, if I borrow $500 and I get $5 of interest, the next year my interest is off the $55 that I owe. Okay, so it's going to keep going, or $505 that I owe. Okay, so let's plug in our points. So A represents total amount. Principal, this is the amount I borrowed or I invested, so 500 times 1 plus, I got to make that percent into a decimal, so 0.025 to the power of 5. Oh, yes. Now, you better definitely be better using a calculator. So 500 times 1 plus 0.025 to the power of 5. That gives me $565.70. That's the total amount. Well, what if I asked you how much interest did I end up paying? Okay. Well, if this is the total amount, and I know that I originally borrowed $500, I'm going to do 565.70 minus 500, and that gives me $65.70. That's just the amount of interest. So you'll be able to go between the two. Last, try this. So compare the interest and total amount of the two banks. Let's say our principal is $10,000. You have the rates and the years there for Bank A and Bank B. Good luck.